Table tennis is a sport like tennis but played on table. Therefore, it's called table tennis, but it's different to talk about the difference of the racket and ball is different. It is played with a plastic ball, a small ball, and a racket. It's also small, it doesn't have string, it's made up of a wooden and it has a rubber on the both sides. So if you look at this racket, plastic ball, it's made of the wood and it has a rubber. Rubber is there so that you can make some spin with the plastic ball. Table tennis is played on a table and it has a net and that divided court into two parts. If we look at the table from the side, this is how it looks like. The table is divided into two parts by the net. On the one side, you are in the black uniform and you have your opponent in the blue side. Now let's talk about the service. The service in table tennis is very different, and when you're serving, you toss the ball and then you hit the ball by your racket and it should be on your side of the table first. Then it will go to the net and it should bounce on your opponent's side. But it's very different from tennis, so ball should bounce on your side first and then on the opponent's side, only during serve. After you have served, if your opponent is trying to hit the ball, you need to hit the ball on your side. If opponent hit the ball in his side, then that is illegal or wrong. So opponent need to hit the ball on your side and then you need to hit the ball on your opponent's side. And then the game goes on like that. If you're wondering how to win points, then let's talk about on that stuff. You can hit a very fast shot and your opponent is not able to make a contact, that is a winner. Another way to win a point is 2 bounces if your opponent hits the pond after the ball has made 2 bounces. On the table, it's called a double bounce and you win the points. Also, if your opponent hits the ball and it doesn't bounce on the table, that will be an outside and you will win the points. Another cases, if opponent hits the ball into the net, and in that case also, you will win the point. So these are all the ways in which you can win the points in the table tennis. One thing I would like to bring to your attention is when you are serving, if the ball hits the net and go to the other side, it's called as lead. And in that case, you will reserve it, but if you're playing a point and this happen, that's fine, you just continue the game. Now let's talk about scoring and how scoring works. So here you are in the black uniform because you have the ball and you are serving. You have the arrow in front of you, so you toss the ball and serve your opponent, hit it, and you hit the winner shot. So you want the point, so you get the first point. Now in the next point, also you will serve. So you serve from 2 points and then you change this up, so this is the second point. You serve your opponent, hit the outside shot, you win these points as well. You get 2 points because you serve 2 times. So now serve will change it. It will go to the blue player and arrow will go to his name and you will give ball to him. Now let's assume that the player in the blue player is got good point and won the first point. And then he played another good point and he won the second point. Now he has served for 2 points. So it will change now. Then how can you figure out when to change the serve? Whenever the sum of the point is 1, then you change the serve. Whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10, you add your points. If it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, you change the serve. So serve will come back to you and the ball will also come back to you. And you would serve and you would continue. So tell what point of time you can continue. You can continue until you get 11 points. When you get 11 points, then you have won the game, so game comes into the picture. So if you look at the points, you won 11 points. That means you win the game. And you won 1 game, and the points become 0-0. For the next game, what would happen is the serve will change because in the previous game, you started the serve. So in the next game, your opponent will start the sub. Not only that, is also change the side as well. So you would go to the other side of the table and that person would come to your side of the table. So when does game ends? Game ends when you win 3 games. So you win 11 points to win the game, and if you win 3 games, then you win the whole match and you are a winner. Now, I want to bring your attention to some situation. Let's say you have 11 points and your opponent is 9 points. So it has a difference of 2. You want it as far as player A wins 11 points with a difference of 2 to win a game. But if it's 10-10, no, player A gets 11. The difference is 1. In this case, player A doesn't win the game. He needs to get a difference of 2. So he needs to win 1 more points. If player A gets 12 and 10 and then the difference is 2, no, player A wins. Types of shot.
So if you simply hit the shot, this is now the ball is going to go. But if you move your racket up, that is known as topspin shot. And in that case, the ball is going to go farther, higher, and faster. If you move your racket down, that is known as backspin. So ball would have backspin and would be slower it will be shorter and it will have spin on it. So there are the types of the shot you can play.
So let's go on the doubles because you're already very good at single. So what is the difference in doubles compared to single? Obviously, it is 2 versus 2. And the difference from single is when you're playing single, when you serve your first bounce can be anywhere on your side of the table, which is the green. And then the second bounce can be anywhere on your opponent's side of the table, which is the orange here. But in doubles, that is not the case. In doubles, ball should bounce on the right side of your table and then it should land on the right side of your opponent's table. And player X should be serving this serve. So you hit the first bounce on your table and this first side's second bounce on your opponent's table. Now once ball goes to your opponent can hit anywhere. Your side now he doesn't need to care right or left anywhere on your table is fine. But in table tennis, player plays alternatives because you need to serve. Player 2 should be receiving the shot and player 1 cannot play this shot. So player 2 can only play the shot if player X hit the shot and player 2 is ready to return that shot now because player X that is shot by player Y has to play this shot and player X cannot play this shot again. So that's how the rules in table tennis. Doubles A players play alternate. So if you hit the shot and your partner need to hit the next shot and then will hit the next shot. It's alternate. So because your partner 2 knows player X cannot hit it, so he gonna aim for somewhere over there and player Y needs to play that shot. So let's see what's happening here. So player Y is able to reach the ball now because to play the shot, player 2 cannot play the next shot and player Y knows it that player 1 needs to play the shot. So player Y is gonna aim somewhere here. So that's the kind of beauty of the doubles table tennis because the player can alternate and it's more challenging. Now let's learn about several changes in double. So if you are the player 1 and you are serving, so you solve for 2 points. After 2 points, you give the ball to your opponent. And now, what would happen if player 2 would come to receive the serve and you would go on the other side of the table? So player X serving to player 2. Now player X will serve for 2 points and after that, player X will give the ball to player 2. And player Y will come to receive the serve and player X will go into the another direction. Now player 2 will serve for 2 points and after that he will give the ball to player Y. So player 1 would come to receive, the player 2 would go to the another side. That's how the serve rotates on the table tennis. And player play alternate shots. That's so much fun in double in table tennis.